What's up, everybody? I'm Rook,
And I'm Archon.
and you're back to episode 84?
3. Oh,
80,
84. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
84.
Holy cow, man. We're getting up there.
Episode 2 on YouTube.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so we got an interesting show today. We're going away from video games. We're going to do
Kind of.
something different.
Kind of. I mean, we'll still talk about video games, let's be real. But yeah, we're going to get into a little bit of movies, maybe do a little discussion on remakes and if specifically live action remakes and
Mm-hmm.
why it's a bad idea for Disney to touch them. But DreamWorks is fine. They know what they're doing.
They do know what they're doing. Yeah, Disney. Tisk, Disney.
Yeah. Disney doesn't know what they're doing, period, anymore. It seems like they're ruining everything. But everyone knows from all of our previous shows that we're not a huge fan of Disney and the choices they make. So we are a little
that's true.
biased, but that's why you're here, to listen to us be biased.
Well, the one thing we kept from our old format is our week. So how was your week, man?
Oh, you know how my week was. I worked. I did a lot of working. Not as much as last week. I could have done as much as last week, but we had some rain. Thankfully, we had some rain, so I got a little bit of a respite. And just in time so that I could play Dune Awakening. That's pretty much what I did with any of my free time.
That game is turning out to be a great game.
Yeah, I've been a little bit sick the last few days. Well, a lot of bit sick the last few days, but I've been just kind of sitting in my chair and playing some Dune, and wow, I am hooked. This game is so good, and there's so much to do. I've been playing quite a bit, and it's just there's so much stuff to do. Like I'm not running out of anything.
What I like is there's a lot of NPC bases you can go and attack.
Yeah, tons. When he says a lot, what he means is just an absolute crap ton. They're everywhere. There's like 2 or 3 of them right next to our base. Like if we need to go farm blood so that we have water or something like that, or you haven't been on lately, but I got this thing now where there's like this little table where you can just bring a whole body and just put it on the table and it'll like slowly drain the water out of it. And it takes about an hour to process, but it gives you 25,000 water per hour.
Question is how do you carry a body in there? You can just throw a body in your bag.
Now, they weigh 75 though, so they weigh a ton. So you can only carry like one at a time. But like you basically you bring a body in and you throw it on there, and it takes an hour to process, but you get a ton of water from it. It's really nice. So
yeah, that's good. Then we need another one.
I just keep throwing one on there whenever it finishes. I throw another one on there, and it's a good way to store water. The only problem with it is if you don't have enough space in your tanks for 25,000 water, it won't even let you put the body on there. But
can you put the body in a chest?
Yep. Store it for later. It's just a regular inventory item that just weighs a lot, but it's pretty freaking awesome. Yeah. And I finally built my ornithopter, which is like a little helicopter flying mount thing that makes the game so much more enjoyable.
I wonder if the physics behind an ornithopter could work in real life, or how bad you would just break it.
I don't know, but one thing I did do, which was really stupid, was last night when I logged out, I was making trips, flying, gathering aluminum and stuff like that, and when you have stuff in your inventory, you can't back up your ornithopter. So I kept going in. I take everything out of the inventory, put it in the boxes and stuff. And then when I logged out last night, I forgot to put my ornithopter in my backup. So it was sitting outside. When I got on today, it was like I had to repair it from all the sandstorms and stuff that happened over the night. And now all my wings, like the max they could get is like 80% repaired because every time you repair something in this game, it slowly loses durability to force you to keep making new parts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I lost a lot of durability off of my own, off of several of the parts because I
Uh,
was stupid and left it outside.
did y'all build a garage yet?
Yeah, I did.
All right, cool.
That's where I keep the buggy and the bikes and stuff like that. Doesn't really have a whole lot of space, especially not for 3 ornithopters, but you could fit 1 in there.
Oh, I got plenty of space in other areas of the base. I can make an ornithopter storage area.
Yeah, the problem, okay, so first, before you do that, um, you need to finish what you're working on, sir, because we have 2 very nice rooms up there, but there's just a door to nowhere, and you can't get up there at the moment unless you, like, rappel up the side of our base to get to it. It's like, just, oh, they're nice, but how do you get up there?
I was actually trying to figure out how to do that. So the weird thing was, is I set that up and I put it where I put it and how I put it after setting up a bunch of foundations to make sure it would line up with the previously established base.
Yeah.
And now when I go to try putting a door on it, it don't work.
Yeah, one thing that we might need to just, like, because the garage is right under that structure. I
Mm-hmm.
put the garage right there. So maybe we can run, like, a ladder or, like, stairs or something from the garage up.
We could do like the main base where we have the stairs going up underneath. We could do that from inside the garage and make it another floor of the garage.
That's what I'm
Um,
thinking.
but I can actually, I think I
But
got to
the
look at where you
garage,
got the garage.
yeah, the garage doesn't connect, like, so the roof of the garage, there's, like, a tiny little space between that and where you started because
Mm-hmm.
it's, like, it's not level. Like,
Mm. You didn't use existing foundations to make sure it was level with the facility.
I mean, your thing up there is kind of off kilter a little. It was the thing, but we'll figure it out. I mean, obviously, even if we have to run stairs from outside, like
Mm-hmm.
around, like do like a spiral staircase down or something, we'll figure it out. But we need to get like a way up in there besides just rappelling up there with my grappling hook.
We will. I had plans for it. Unfortunately, my PC decided to say put that on hold.
Yeah, you just got the black screen of death, which never a good thing when the
Mm-hmm.
graphics card dies. But um, yeah, I did find one thing about this game that kind of irks me though, and I was talking to my friend Chris about this earlier today. There is absolutely no passive health regeneration in any way, shape, or form in this game.
Mm-mm.
Like, you have, if you're at half life and you run around for an hour, you're gonna be at half life. It never goes up, and you can't, like, we tried, like, sitting on benches, that doesn't work. The beds are completely ornamental, you can't even lay on the beds, they're just
Of course.
decoration. It's like, "Oh, come on, if you can sit on the benches, you should be able to lay on your bed, like, come on."
If I'm not mistaken, it took a while for Conan uh, to actually add health regeneration.
I don't know, but there's, like, no real form of health regeneration except for bandages, so you constantly are making bandages left and right.
Ton of bandages.
So many bandages, but
And you burn through them fast. I had 3 stacks of 20 and I burned through them in one building because
yeah,
of the heavies.
you need better armor.
I
Now
do.
that
I will
I
get
got
it
better
eventually.
armor, I got some better armor now, and now I can, like, actually take a few hits before I get completely messed up. Plus, I have the Bene Gesserit skill tree unlocked now, which is, like, heavy into, like, bonus healing and things like
Mm.
that, so your bandages heal for more now, so that's super useful, but yeah, that
Yeah,
game.
I do gotta get unlock better stuff. I gotta go and unlock my actual equipment, my advanced trainer. I haven't gone and done him yet.
Yeah, that's that's a fun quest. But yeah, you definitely need to do that for all of the trees that you unlock because that's how you get, like, your second skill point and things, and
Hmm.
there's, like I said, there's just so much to do.
It was
And
well worth the hype.
we'll help you get an ornithopter because they're so useful. Because,
Yeah.
like, it kind of takes the worm out of things because you don't have to worry about the worm when you're traveling anymore, which is great because you
I
just
don't
fly
mind the
right over top
worm.
of him. Yeah, you say that until you get eaten by him and he takes all your stuff.
I'm the only one in our group that has not been eaten by the worm
I
yet.
haven't been eaten by the worm.
I thought you've been eaten by the worm.
No, I got eaten by
No.
quicksand, but I never got eaten by a
Ah, it
worm.
was quicksand. Okay. I was backwards.
Yeah, I got eaten by the quicksand, but never the worm. I run from him. One of the Bene Gesserit skills that you get gives you like this insane speed boost. So like I found out that when I'm farming that flower sand stuff, which you need a ton of it higher in the game because you need the
Mm-hmm.
silicone blocks, but I'll run out there into the middle of the sand and I'll since the worm is actually here now, like unlike when we did it last time,
Yeah.
um you run out into the sand and you get as much as you can, and then as soon as like the worm just will just pop up and be red, and then I hit that skill and just boost my way out of there as fast as I can, and then I'll wait for him to go away, and then I'll go back in and I'll do it again, and just back and forth, back and forth. But sounds like Chris was saying that he found a spot that you can get the sand that there's no worm activity. So
I would be. I want to try it with the worm because it wasn't
it's
fun when
tough.
the worm wasn't there.
Oh no, it's tricky with the worm. It's annoying because you only can you can like zap the ground and loot the sand like 3 times, and then the worm is there and he's on you.
Mm.
So you get like 110 sand and have to run, and then you get to go. Then you go back in and do it again, 110 sand, and then you got to run again. So it's like a really, really, really long process.
Oh, fun. I'll have to get back in game. Unfortunately, unlike you, I haven't been able to play all week, primarily because of work.
You've been working.
So Thursday night, my computer, so it was very, very annoying. Wednesday night, I logged off my computer, shut it down, went to go power it back up on Thursday. Nothing. The computer booted up, but my monitor, you know how the light on the monitor will change colors when it's actually receiving a signal from your
Yeah.
thing? It wasn't receiving any signal. And I would unplug it and plug it back in. It would do the initial, hey, there's something here, and then it would just blank out again. So I opened up my PC, started cleaning everything, checked all the connections, everything, closed it back up, powered back up. Then my computer stopped passing the power on test. So I was like, great. Because I started getting a warning light on my actual 2070 or 2060, and then on the motherboard itself. So I was like, well, 2060 is dead. Time to upgrade. I upgraded.
Yeah, you were rocking a pretty old graphics card on a pretty intense game. I'm not surprised.
Hey,
I wouldn't be
hey.
surprised if it was the game itself that rocked your that killed your 2060.
2060 Ti. Yes, it's dusty because my computer needed to be heavily cleaned. 5060 Ti. Size difference.
Yeah, that's a big difference, man.
Yeah. It weighs more. The old one weighs more.
Well, yeah, technology gets smaller as it gets better, you know.
Yeah. But problem I'm running into now is I can't get my computer to switch over to its dedicated memory card or dedicated graphics or
Yeah,
integrated graphics. That
there
word.
you go. There it was.
The integrated graphics, I can't get it switched over. So my next idea is to go get an actual DVI cable, plug it in, see if it's just the HDMI port on the motherboard not working. If that don't work, I'm going with a complete new computer rebuild.
That'll get expensive.
I'm keeping my case. I'm keeping my memory. The power supply is powerful enough to run everything. The monitor I'll update at some point, but not right now.
Ultra wide's where it's at. I love
Yeah,
my
but
monitor.
as it sits right now, motherboard and liquid cool, because I want to switch to a liquid cool system, and a new processor is all going to cost me about $1,000.
Ouch.
Hey,
That's
this
rough.
was on Newegg. This was $380 something with shipping, 418.
It's not terrible.
No, not at all. So I'll get that on order, and then hopefully,
So roughly $1,500 for a new computer, but you're using your old memory, your old power supply, your old case. Dang.
Well, because the case is a newer case. I bought the case back in last year.
Yeah. I
Um,
could probably do for a processor update here pretty soon. Like mine's, I want to say 6 years old, 5 or 6 years old.
Now I might upgrade my RAM because right now it's running the Corsair Vengeance DDR4, which still 32 gigabytes of RAM. I can upgrade that at some point, but I'm not rushing that right now.
Yeah, my board will only support like my board is old enough to where it only supports DDR4. It won't support the DDR5 yet. So
Yeah, that's the problem with mine. My computer, everything in there, including the 2060 graphics card, was built in 2020. So it's about time for an upgrade.
yeah, my biggest thing, and I really really need to fix it soon, is I need a secondary internal hard drive because trying to use this external has just been causing me nothing but problems. I need a new internal
Do
solid
you want
state.
to run solid state?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah,
For sure. That's where it's at.
because
And
I
my external's a solid state. It's just slow.
yeah, I have I have a HDD drive that has all my Steam games on it, and then I have two solid states. One of them is pretty empty because I got it strictly for Starfield,
Mm.
which I can't wait to try these games on this new graphics card.
Oh, dude, yeah. Gonna be a beast.
But yeah, that's pretty much been my week. As you can see, I'm still recording, but luckily I have my laptop that
Backup.
I got back in 2020 as well, and it's doing just what it was meant to do: be my backup computer at home.
Yeah, you can tell that you're not using your normal
Well,
uh
because
webcam.
I'm using my desktop camera and my mic, so
Mm. Huh.
everything transferred over. I already had all this set up before because when we were recording, what was it? I think it was Raw and Nerdy on one of the weekends at my house in California. I actually set this up to be able to record
Oh
on it.
yeah, because your compute. Yeah, I remember that. I think it was might have still been Starfield
Might have been Starfield.
because your main computer was like packed up and everything. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
You were recording this way for a few weeks,
Yep, and it
but
works. It
hey,
works pretty well. But
yeah,
that's been my week: is work, sleep, game when I could, deal with migraines all week.
oof, those are the
Yeah,
worst.
they are. I ended up missing Wednesday because of migraines, but they went away at later in the evening, so I was able to get some Dune time in. Man, I can't believe I'm spending so much time in Dune. So I
It's
saw
so
this.
good.
I know. I saw this question on Twitter, and it was, if you had to spend a year playing one game 12 hours a day for the entire year for $10 million, what game would it be? So I pose that question to you, sir.
And I think I could probably do it in Dune just because there's so much to do, so much like you can do. Like I've actually been spending some time with like our old base,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote, our before we moved over. I kind of revamped that base and rebuilt it a little and like turned it into just like my own personal spot. And I kind of had to do that because we have a friend that's playing with us, a friend that I've known for a long time named Chris, and he has this bad habit of he'll log in and be like, "Oh, I want to do this, and I need to go make this," and he'll go into the base and be like, "Oh, here's all the stuff to just make it." Even though, like for instance, yesterday I spent probably 4 hours farming aluminum and everything I needed to make my ornithopter, and I was just about to make it, and then he went in and used a bunch of the materials, and I'm like, dude, like, come on. I've been farming these mats all day.
Yeah, we
So
just got to get into a situation where we can just build around heavy resource areas where we can just
yeah,
build bases in those areas to run around, grab everything, throw them in, because we're slowly learning how all the inventory links together.
Yeah, we need to figure like that's the one thing I really want to figure out is how to do all the links and stuff to where we can do that. Have like little sub outposts where we like farm all the aluminum and have it sent to our main base type of thing. Like if we
Hmm.
like once we get all that down,
Oh yeah,
that'll be sweet. The
definitely.
only problem is we've got to pay taxes on every single one of these places that we build.
Yes, it sucks. You got to pay taxes in this game, but
I mean,
if
it's
you're
only once
running
a
around,
week.
it's only once a week, and if you're running around looting all these bases, you'll end up getting money.
Yeah, lots. Or if you do we found me and Chris found that if you do the missions,
Hmm.
like some of the missions, like for the Atreides and stuff, like the faction missions, give like 10,000 a piece.
How do you think I afforded making the base bigger?
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
need to
had
make it
money.
bigger the other direction now, so we can actually just keep.
Up.
I can make it where build up, but over uh north on the west side where we have that big open thing where there's nothing
Oh yeah.
opposite of the big building I built.
We just gotta be careful because there's a lot of sand over there, and if you get too far over,
I'm
I
talking
do
about
get
in the
worm
rocks.
activity. Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I was thinking about because the way the base is oriented is you got the sand and our base cuts at an angle like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go that direction, I'll be able to build the
Yeah.
base up. And I will do a video clip during this week some point because I think I'm taking Thursday off. So I'll be able to do a clip on showing how we build and what our base looks like and do a tour of the base.
Our base is pretty sweet now. Wait till you see it, man. It's pretty sweet. I've been putting in some work. I
Hey,
haven't
when I was
touched,
building it, it just looked like a hodgepodge of buildings at different levels.
and you can see our base from like forever away now because it's so big. Like if you go over to where all that gosh, why am I drawing? I keep drawing a blank on this.
Airthrite,
Oh, the carbon, where all
the
the
carbon
carbon
and all
is
that. Yeah.
on the other side of the quicksand. If you go over there, you can see our base clear as day. It's really easy to find our base. So yeah, it's looking pretty cool. And I haven't touched your little I need a grappling hook to get to place yet, but like
Well,
the
that is
main
where
base looks
our
sweet.
individual bedrooms are supposed to be. Our
Yeah,
bedrooms and office. On top of that, I might make the ornithopter landing pad.
maybe. But the thing with that though is like all those decorative things are just literally decorations. You can't use any of them for anything. It's not functional.
So,
Well, I mean, it's
so
just sucks to have such a big space dedicated to something that is useless, you know?
it
Because you
does.
don't sleep. So what do we need bedrooms for?
But what we could do is move everything from the one main area where we got everything right now into that big room, or we can make that our quote unquote office area and decorate it and have it be our garage on bottom and ornithopter landing pad on top.
Another thing I figured out: if you go to the sub thief thing
Mm-hmm.
and you look at it, if you look through the options on the first page of the options is the thing that's like if you hold Y, it'll
Mm-hmm.
automatically if you have fuel, it'll automatically fill all your generators.
Didn't know that one.
Yeah, that one's nice. And then if you go further into it, it shows you how much power we have and how much power we're using,
Oh,
which
you
is in
figured out where that is.
yes, it's in there.
Because
It's in there.
I remember the last time I was on Wednesday, we were like, it would be nice if they could actually set it up to where you could actually see what you're using.
Yeah, and I've been building like wind turbines and stuff so that that room doesn't keep filling up with
Have
generators.
we created any wind traps for the moisture traps?
Yeah, I have one of them, but with the whole water table thing where you can put the body on there and the blood purifier, like it's not hard to get water right now.
Yeah, but if we make other bases, it'll be nice to have.
Very true. A way to have
Hmm.
water and stuff. The only problem with those water things is when you put the filters in them, it'll only hold 5 filters and they only last
Mm.
for 17 hours.
Oh, that's
So
lame.
you got to like keep an eye on them.
That's kind of lame.
Yeah. But
So we could talk
anyway,
about this game all
yeah,
day.
seriously, we could do a whole like we actually considered at one point a few months back doing an entire show on this game, and it is possible, and I still think it is very possible that we could do one on Light No Fire because that game's going to be even bigger
Yeah.
probably than this one.
Now that it's
But
been released for everybody, I think we can do a show specifically for Vowed Raw. Or not Vowed, Dune Awakening.
Dune, we could potentially. I don't know. I mean, we gotta see what kind of time we got because. But yeah, it's so cool. Like, if you haven't played it yet, you should. If you like survival and you like MMO, yeah. We haven't even gotten to the more of the end game stuff where you gotta like battle over the spice and everything yet. So
Mhm.
that's when it's gonna get real fun.
That is one thing I do really like about this game is it's PvE in a lot of areas, and there are pockets for PvP areas. So you can get both. If you're not a PvPer, you can go and play the PvE story and everything like that, no problem, not be affected. If you like PvP, you can go to these hot spots and duke it out.
Yeah.
I do like that.
One thing I just unlocked that I gotta make is a spice something. It's for making things out of spice, and that's when we really get where you start getting into the needing to go into the areas where the PvP is to get the spice.
Oh yeah.
Well,
All right. So
yeah,
enough about it.
yeah,
Enough
yeah.
about
Enough about
Dune.
Dune. I'm sure we won't talk about it at all for the rest of the episode.
Probably. Uh, but like he said earlier, we have a lot to talk about with live action remakes. But first, I thought we should hit the news
Yeah, we
because
only got a couple things, so let's knock them out.
because two big things for me hit.
One really big thing.
The first one, Spaceballs 2 is officially announced.
Yes, I sent that to you. Did you see it before I sent it to you?
No,
Yes.
actually, I saw one on my Facebook, and then you sent that yours at the exact same time I saw that one.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I was so stoked.
So Mel Brooks is returning to play as Yogurt.
Of course.
Bill Pullman is coming back to play as Lone Star, and his son Lewis Pullman is going to play his son,
Nice.
the child of Queen Vespa and Lone Star. And then I guess it's Kiki or however
Kiki
you say
Palmer.
it. Yeah, Kiki Palmer is going to also be in the cast as a lead, but doesn't really say much.
Too bad we can't have Barf back.
I know, that's sad.
I love the way they announced it. They did the scroll like Star Wars, and it just said all kinds of random. And then like Mel Brooks is talking at the end, and he's like, "For 40 years, we've been listening to what you guys want, and then we made this instead." I love Mel Brooks is hilarious, but he's like 97 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So this is
But
probably his last movie.
He doesn't look as old as you'd think.
Yeah.
All right, so it starts off quite funny because it starts off 37 years you've had, and it starts listing all the different major sci-fi series like Star Wars and all that, and how many you had a prequel, a sequel to the prequel, a prequel to the sequel, and making fun of
Television
all that
shows.
stuff.
It's like Aliens, some of which featured Predator, but wasn't Predator, and then Predator, which also features aliens, but wasn't aliens.
Yeah. So
it was hilarious.
It was a space. It was definitely a Mel Brooks intro.
But there's only been one. Spaceballs.
Until now.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great.
That's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it. And then the next one that I saw interesting was Strange New Worlds has been wrapping up filming season 3. They're already cleared for season 4, and they just got told they're getting picked up for the 5th and final season. But the problem I'm having with that is everything I've read on that is it's going to be 6 episodes. I hope they actually do a few more episodes, but I was reading some articles about that, and 5 seems to be the norm for seasons these days.
5? I thought it was like 8.
No, even Discovery only went 5.
Wow, most shows, like, I know, like, Stranger Things and stuff like that usually go, like, 8 to 10 episodes. I know
Well, I'm
Stranger
talking
Things is
about seasons.
oh, seasons, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Stranger Things is stopping at 5 too.
Yeah, it's a lot
I
of the
think
stuff
it's
I've
the
been
5th
reading on
season?
I think so.
Yeah.
I've been reading online that a lot of the people are saying this is the way it's going with streaming is you're going to get fewer episodes during streaming because with that revenue they can put more into the episodes, and then they're going to also probably 5 seasons is what you're going to get because of getting new people to subscribe to stuff.
Hmm.
It's all about making money. And to be honest, if you actually look and talk to some of these actors about what it's like to film a TV series for 22 episodes a season, it was a grueling thing.
Yeah. It was
So
long, took forever.
you get better quality acting, better, in some cases, a better story. And then you can also get better quality set builds and stuff like that filled into the episodes because you're not trying to use the same thing over and over and over and over and over again until it's worn out and constantly have to go in and keep redoing it. So,
Yeah, the only problem with this model though is that instead of watching the show like every week for a half a year and then waiting a half a year for the next season to come out, you're now watching it the way they do it nowadays. Basically, they
mhm.
just release the whole dang show. You can watch it all in like 8 hours, and then you're just got nothing for a year.
Yeah, that does suck. I did that with Mandalorian.
I've done that with
Went
a
through
few
that whole
shows like
season.
Cobra Kai, like Stranger Things, all those shows. As soon as they hit on Netflix, I'm like, all right, gotta binge the whole season. Oh
Mhm.
man, now I'm out of episodes.
That's why I do like how some networks were doing it to where they would release an episode once a week, even though
Yeah,
they had already filmed all the episodes.
Disney does that with a lot of their shows. They do one a week. Well, they'll release like the first 3 episodes, and then you get one a week until they're out of episodes.
Yeah. So
I like
I'm
that
still waiting
format.
for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie to come out.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Mm-hmm. All right. What's this other article you put on there?
Oh, the Minecraft movie has got an official release date. It's coming out on Max on the 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be available for streaming. For those of
Nice.
you who love the Minecraft movie like me, you can watch it all you want
Or
after the
those of us who
21st.
haven't had time to go to a theater and watch the movie.
You
So
haven't
I'll be
seen it yet. Oh, yeah, I
I get
forgot you haven't seen it
I
yet.
haven't seen it yet. I get to watch it on Max though, so
Oh, dude. As soon as you see it, we're going to talk about it.
of course we will.
So good.
So let's get to our special topic of the day.
Live action remakes and why Disney should never do them.
they they've had a lot of them. So this came about as a topic because as of the recording, a new live action just recently came out.
Right. Which, see, okay, so Disney has done one live action remake that I would say they did right. And that was The Lion King. And that was only because it was basically just a shot for shot remake. But
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't even really live action because it was all just CGI.
Yeah.
So I will say that I did like a couple of their live action remakes, like Beauty and the Beast. That was a good one. I enjoyed Beauty and the Beast. Um, and a lot of people didn't, but I did enjoy Aladdin. I, just
Mm-hmm.
seeing Will Smith as a genie was hilarious. But like, other than that, like they've all just been bad. They got to change them to fit agendas, and I don't like it.
So based on this, the some of the issues that I've seen on feedback of How to Train Your Dragon is a lot of people don't like the main character's love interest. I forgot her name, the blonde
Astrid,
chick. Yeah, Astrid.
she's not
They
blonde.
changed, huh?
She's not blonde in the live action.
Yeah, she's
She
not.
had
They used somebody completely different than what was already casted, and it's like, if you're going to remake something live action, try sticking to your original story.
yeah. Well, see, okay. So what How to Train Your Dragon did was, yes, they used they used a dark haired actress.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say that for Astrid. But other than that, like it's basically a shot for shot remake, and they did it. Everybody I've talked to that's seen it, and all the reviews and stuff I've seen online, love it. They say it was done awesome. Like they did the movie justice. They did a good job. They didn't change things to fit agendas. They One actress got cast for the role because she did a better job than everyone else, and she
See,
happened to
I'm going to
be
give it a
not
shot.
blonde.
I'm
But
going to give it a
other than
shot.
that, like everything else is just great. It's a great movie.
See, this is one of those situations where I'm okay with the recast because they went with the better actress than trying to pick somebody that's might not be strong for the role
Right.
just
I mean,
because
it's
of.
just like some movies you can do it with, some things you can't. Like obviously, if there was a conflict, then you shouldn't do it. Like with the new Harry Potter series, there's specific reasons why you shouldn't cast certain actors in those roles.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, like the outrage over the Snape casting because they cast an African American actor in the role. Well, there's a whole bunch of scenes in the books and in the movies where that particular character gets bullied by Harry's father and all of his friends, and it's gonna turn in now that they have an African American person playing that role, it's gonna turn into a race thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or like for instance, they didn't, but there was a lot of controversy about they were talking about casting Hermione as an African American actress. Well, throughout the books, they tease her and call her Mudblood. That's not gonna go well if you cast an
No.
African American actress to play that role. You'll have to either change the script, change that line, or it's gonna turn into something it's not.
Yeah.
So, like, but like casting somebody with dark hair to play Astrid, okay. I mean that doesn't change the story. It doesn't change anything about it. It doesn't do anything except change what our normal image of the person is.
True. But I don't feel represented.
Why? Hiccup
I'm blonde.
Hiccup looks almost identical to the way he did in the original. Like they literally brought Gerard Butler back to play Stoic again. Like so, like I mean,
Now it looks
no,
like it's going to be good.
I
I'll
think it's gonna be
watch it at
great.
some point. But because we had this topic, I was bored and looked up uh
All
Rotten
the live
Tomatoes
action, yeah,
Disney live action remakes list.
and there's a ton of them, way more than
There-
I even thought.
There's 24 of them.
Yeah, they've been doing this
So
for a while.
yeah, we'll start off at number 24 and work our way up. All right. So this one tanked. Pinocchio is the first one on this
There's a
list.
bunch of those.
We
There's
got
a lot of
Pinocchio.
Pinocchios.
Yeah. The first one is Pinocchio from 2022.
Okay, yep.
The
That wasn't that bad of a movie.
critics say the consensus of critics is it's visually dazzling but soulless. The largely inert Pinocchio reaffirms that you should always let your conscience be your guide, away from unnecessary remakes.
Yes. Oh, that's great. That is great. I love that reviewer. He's my favorite already, or she, whoever it was.
Number 23 is Alice Through the Looking Glass in 2016. It says it's just as visually impressive as its predecessor, but that isn't enough to cover for an underwhelming story that fails to live up to its classic characters.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That one wasn't very good.
102 Dalmatians in 2000.
Okay, the older ones were, I don't know. I like the
Yeah.
cartoons better. I did like Cruella though, but that wasn't technically a remake. That was kind of a new story.
Yeah. Critics say it drags in parts, blah, 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 but not making fun of and it's too violent for a G-rated movie. And then right above that is 101 Dalmatians in 96.
Oh, come on.
The next one on the list was, if I stop hitting my mouse pad the wrong way. Next one on the list was Maleficent, Mistress of Evil from 2019.
That's not really a remake though. I mean, I guess it is. It's a different take on Sleeping Beauty, but
yeah, it is definitely a different take.
yeah.
The next one was Disney's Snow White in 2025.
How is that not at the bottom of the list?
It's number 19. It's far enough down.
It should be the bottom. That
It
movie
got 39% versus the 20% that the bottom one got.
My wife and kids were watching that one the other day, and I had a hard time even looking at the screen. It was so bad.
Mm-hmm. So this one says Snow White is hardly a grumpy time at the movies thanks to Rachel Ziegler's luminous star turn, but his bashful treatment of the source material along with some dopey stylistic choices won't make everyone happy either.
Yeah.
Number 18, Dumbo from 2019.
Yeah,
I didn't know they made a live action Dumbo. Tells you how much I was paying attention.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It had Colin Farrell in it, I believe.
And Tim Burton, I guess, did the visuals for it. Number 17 is Alice in Wonderland from 2010. Tim Burton's Alice sacrifices the book's minimal narrative coherence and much of its heart, but is an undeniable visual treat. Of course, I haven't seen anything by Tim Burton I didn't enjoy, and this one had Johnny Depp playing one of the characters, so that was entertaining.
Yeah, and Helena Bonham Carter played a big-headed queen. That was pretty funny.
As we were talking about earlier, The Lion King is at number 16. It's a visual achievement, but it's really not, like you say, live action.
Yes,
And
really.
it lacks the energy and heart that made the cartoon good.
Fair. I'll give it that.
All right, so the actual original Maleficent from 2014 is at number 15. Then you got Mufasa at number 14. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. But that's also not, I mean, yes, it is like The Lion King ish, but it's not a remake because there was no original cartoon Mufasa.
Mm-hmm. But there was an original, but at the same time, it is the characters and whatnot. My problem is it's not live action.
Yeah, say
it's CGI action.
Yeah.
Number 13 is Aladdin.
Oh, that's all the way on 13. That one was actually kind of good.
A critic rating was 57%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't understand why that one was so low. It deserved to be better. Peter Pan and Wendy from 2023 is number 12.
I don't know if I've ever even heard of that one.
I'd never heard of it. This is the first I'm hearing of it. Oh, there's a lot of fan theories about Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland that I was listening to on BMAs. Oh my God, it gets dark.
Oh goodness.
Like Alice in Wonderland, I'll get back to the rest of this list in a second, but Alice in Wonderland is there's one fan theory out there that it's Alice falling down the rabbit hole of her mental illnesses.
Yeah, I've actually heard of that one. That there's mental illness and drugs come out that like psychedelic mushrooms and mental illness about in that movie.
Mm-hmm. And then the other one is for Peter Pan is either he's like because of Never Neverland, he's an angel of death taking the past children away and stuff like that. I was like, ooh, these get dark, dude.
Yeah. I've heard one about like how he like kidnaps children and stuff.
Yeah.
And that he's the true villain of the story.
And the true hero is Hook.
Yeah, who's just trying to save the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that was the other one on that one. And it was like, okay, these make sense. I need to stop listening to this. All right. Did you know they made a remake of Lady and the Tramp, a live action remake of Lady and the Tramp?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's number 11.
Again, the main characters are all CGI, but like the people aren't. I guess
Yeah.
there are people in it, so there's some live action to it. But yeah, I've seen it. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't what you're used to. So
All right. Now we're in the top 10, sir.
yeah, woohoo!
The Little Mermaid is number 10.
Ugh, I didn't like that one.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one yet. I want
I
to see
saw
this
it.
one. I want to see number 9. Lilo and Stitch.
Nope, I don't. I can't do it
Why not?
because they ruined the whole premise of the movie, and I don't like it. Like literally, if you grew up with Lilo and Stitch, you know that
Mm-hmm.
Ohana means family. And
Yeah.
spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, the sister gives Lilo up to Child Protective Services instead of like literally the whole cartoon was about her making sacrifices so that she could keep Lilo.
Mm-hmm.
And in the live action, they're like, we're just gonna have her give up Lilo for adoption so that she could go off to college and better herself.
Yeah, that's
What? Like, that's like the whole premise of the movie.
yeah. I can see why you'd be disgruntled with that. I still want to watch it because it's a live action Stitch.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be fun, but like that part's always gonna bother me.
Yeah, I see that. Uh, let's see, Beauty and the Beast from 2017. I actually did enjoy that one.
That one was good. That one was
Mm-hmm.
well done. Emma
It
Watson.
was.
Mm,
She can sing fairly well. I didn't
yeah.
realize that. Christopher Robin at number 7.
Oh, I forgot about that one. That's a great movie.
I have not seen that one. I
Again,
need to
that's
though.
like it's not really a remake. I mean, it is. Again, it's live action and it is the characters from Winnie the Pooh, but it's like in the
Mm-hmm.
future, like when Christopher Robin's full grown. So I don't know. It was good though. It was a good movie.
I'll have to check that one out. Mulan at number 6.
Not seen that one.
I haven't seen it, and I don't know if I want to because they don't have the dragon in it.
What? No Mushu?
I believe Mushu is something different. I'll have
What the heck?
if any of our
Oh,
our
Eddie Murphy?
listeners. No, Eddie Murphy. That's what made it great. Dishonor to
Yeah.
you, dishonor to your family, dishonor to your cow. Cruella is number 5.
It's a good movie.
That apparently they figured Cruella needed an origin story.
It was great.
All right, top 4. Here we go. Number 4 is 1994's Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book. I didn't know they made a live action Jungle Book in 1994.
I do. Okay.
It got an 80% Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Okay. I do remember that one.
Next, at number 3 is Cinderella 2015.
It was okay.
It's okay.
Marginal at best. I wouldn't put it at 3.
I haven't seen this one, but I really should. Pete's Dragon.
How is that? What is that a remake of? I don't remember there being a.
Continues winning streak with an update that gives the original visual overhaul.
Oh, they're talking the newer piece, the new one. Okay.
2016.
Yeah, okay. That was a good movie. I did enjoy that one. I would put that one up there.
So, out of every movie you can think of, what's number 1?
Number 1.
Hmm.
Well, they have. It's more of a which one haven't you listed yet?
I know, right?
Number 1. Is it a mainstream one?
It is a very popular animated cartoon movie.
And is it one that like I would know?
It's one I already mentioned the name of in this list, and it's about a bunch of bare necessities.
Oh, they had another Jungle Book?
Yep, they did a remake in 2016 of Jungle Book, and it got a 94% critic rating. And
That's
it
the one I
says
that might be the one I was thinking of when you mentioned the other one.
the other one was from 1994.
Yeah.
Uh, this one is a rare remake that actually improves upon its predecessors, all while setting a new standard for CGI.
Hmm.
Yeah, the other one
Yeah, I
was
think that's the one I'm thinking of when you first mentioned the other one.
yeah, because the that's the one I think of because it's new and I remember hearing about it. Uh, the other one I've never heard of.
Hmm.
But this new one, the one from 1994, says it may not hew as closely to the book as the title suggests, but it still offers an entertaining live action take on the story. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Shere Khan being pretty terrifying,
Oh,
wanting to eat the cub.
yeah. But I found it interesting. I didn't realize they had so many remakes. And
Yeah,
all of them, except for a couple, were since 2016 or newer.
yeah. So most of the movies on the list were not that great.
I
I
can't
mean,
really say either way because I haven't seen half the movies on that list.
I have just because my kids watch them all the time on
Mhm.
repeat. But like, I feel like every time they want to watch one of those live action remakes, I try and convince them to watch the cartoon original instead because it's just better.
Yeah, the cartoon, but Disney was so good at animating some of these stories from
Right.
back then, and then I don't know what happened, but they went away from the musicals. They went away from all that until Frozen came out, and then we had a good musical
Yeah,
again.
and Frozen was great. It was a great
Hmm.
movie. They finally made a good movie again, and now they're back to uh, let's just make.
It's like creativity in this day and age has gone downhill because you see a lot more remakes than you are new stories.
Right. It's like we've ran out of things to tell a story about. So
I
let's just
I don't
remake.
think it's they ran out of things to tell stories about. I think it's more they're afraid to go into a new story because of how much everything costs to make these days.
Well, also let's be fair. Some of the news stories they've come out with lately, like Luca and what's that, Strange Worlds or whatever that
Hmm.
other like they're just bad. They've just been really really bad. But
Hmm.
Inside Out was good.
It was.
So
Uh,
Elemental, I liked Elemental. Like there are some good ones. I mean,
it's when they just go with telling a story and not trying to see if it's PC or not. Just tell the story. That's what people care about, in my opinion.
right. Like DreamWorks.
Hmm.
DreamWorks is doing it right. Like their titles have been great. Like Kung Fu Panda, amazing. Shrek, amazing. All the How to Train Your Dragon movies, amazing.
Hmm.
So like follow their model.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at
Well,
me
we'll
trying to
see what
will Disney
happens.
to succeed rather than just fail completely and let DreamWorks take over.
Disney, make a good story.
Right.
And unlike some people, I actually enjoyed Disney's uh, Star Wars story, Andor. I actually
A
enjoyed
lot of
that one.
people liked Andor. Andor is actually pretty popular, but the problem is it's catching up to the timeline, so they can't make. I think this was supposed to be the last season
This is
because
the
now
last
it's caught
season
up.
because they're going into the Rogue One Star Wars story.
Yeah. So
Uh, But Andor is awesome because a lot of people, at the beginning, a lot of feedback I heard was it's not really a fun Star Wars movie because you don't have the Jedi and all that. And it's like, not
doesn't
everybody
have
wants
to.
to be Jedi. Not everybody wants to be Sith. Not everybody wants to be all these other things. Some people want to see the cool parts of the stories. I want to
Right.
see I want to see a movie in between A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back to find out what happened to all these Bothans.
So I was thinking the other day,
Uh-oh.
and I came up with a question, and I wanted to ask you about it on the air because I wanted to see what you had to say. If you could live in any fictional world, and now when I say this, I don't necessarily mean that you're like the hero of the world, that you just live in that fictional world.
Mm-hmm.
What would it be?
So that's where it gets tricky for me because there are so many worlds I want to live in, but I think it would be the world of Dragonlance, the books I read, because
Okay. Oh, you're
I, I
talking books. Okay.
love I love the way the story is written. But if you went say, hey, uh, because let me backtrack. The world of Kryn is well thought out and has a really good world build to it. Another one I would want to live in.
I was thinking more like something like mainstream, like movies or
I know I'm thinking that's a tough one.
it is. Because I mean, like I asked like a couple of my kids, and they're like, "Oh, I'd want to live in the MCU." I'm like, "But if you're not a superhero, then it would suck to live in the MCU because then you're just like
A normal person like
seeing
us.
destruction everywhere around you all the time. Like that would
Yeah.
suck." So unless you're an actual superhero, which you wouldn't be, it wouldn't be fun to live there. Like, yeah, cool. Hey, I saw Iron Man on TV. Yeah, me too. I watched all three of them, all four of them. Like,
See, I wouldn't, depending upon what I ended up doing with my life in that world, I wouldn't mind living in the Star Wars universe. Star Trek universe, I could see myself living in just because I'd end up joining Starfleet as a non-officer. Um, but if I was to go video game worlds, that's where it gets a little bit more tricky because part of me wants to say the Halo universe, but then like I don't want to be in the middle of that war on some outdistant planet that gets glassed.
right?
Mass Effect world would be interesting to live in, but again, that's another one of those worlds where it's about the entire galaxy and it's being attacked, and you don't know much about the actual individual worlds themselves. So I would have to say probably the Star Wars universe, followed closely by the Star Trek universe, because they've hashed out a lot of worlds and a lot of the galaxy in general. What about you?
Oh, see, and I've asked people this question, but I've never really I've kind of thought about it a little myself, but like I think I would want to live in like I think the coolest world to live in would be like have you ever seen it's a Disney movie, not a very
I
popular one, but have you ever seen the movie Onward?
don't know.
It's like a kid who's like about to have his birthday and his dad is gone and they find this like magic staff and like there's magic in the world and they live with like one of the cops is like a giant like minotaur and like they just like I mean all of it's like really cool like there's like a manicore that runs a bar and
I think
it's
I might have seen that.
it'd be kind of cool just to live in a world like that where there was all those like magical creatures that like we're just like everyday people like that you just hang out with and like that'd be kind of fun.
It could
There's
be.
like there is some magic, but not many people like it's lost and people don't really know how to use it. And I mean, it's kind of like our world, but like with more fun fantasy elements to it.
That
Be
would
fun.
actually be that would be a fun one to live in.
Yeah. Don't have to worry about death and destruction all the time, whether or not your world's going to get invaded. Buildings like New York getting destroyed every other week. Like,
That's anywhere in the MCU. I
yeah,
don't know
that's the
how.
MCU.
Man, I wish we had the money. I wish I had the money that New York and the MCU has to constantly keep rebuilding.
Right. Dude, like for real. Like, that's no joke. I don't
Now,
know how many times New York has been destroyed in the MCU.
because that kind of question makes me think of this anime that I've been watching. It's like I got a cheat code in another world, and now I'm I don't remember the full title. It's I got a cheat code in another world. Now I'm something in the real world. And what it is there's this portal that leads him to another world in his deceased grandfather's home. And he goes there, and time passes slower or not at all, I think. And he's gotten buff and ripped. And he goes back into the real world. He goes in as a fat kid everybody picked on. He comes back ripped and buff at the start of the new school year, and everybody's like, where did that come from? And he's just constantly going into this other world and getting stronger and more powerful.
Nice. Have you ever seen the movie Central Intelligence? With
Yes.
The Rock? It kind of reminds me of that, where he's like this fat kid in high school that everyone picks on, and then all of a sudden he's The Rock.
Yeah.
Like, he's just all, what was his name? Bob something.
Yeah, something or other. I don't remember his name.
Bob Stone. Yeah, Bob Stone. He was Robbie Deerdick or something like that. And now he's Bob Stone.
No, yeah, change his name completely.
Secret agent.
Deerdick
Bob,
has a
Robbie.
weird dick. Yeah, that was a funny movie. Those two,
they have good chemistry.
Dwayne Johnson and forgot his name, dude.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. They have a good chemistry together.
Oh, insane! Like every movie they're in together is so funny.
As long as you don't try putting Kevin Hart as a buff, muscular, tall dude. Yeah, I'm making fun of the Borderlands casting.
Oh gosh. Still haven't watched that movie. I can't do it. I can't do it. I keep hearing such bad things about it that I don't want to ruin my image of Borderlands.
Well, the movie could be different than the other stuff. All right, so I am technically running out of time here.
Yeah, we're good.
So apologize for our video quality a little bit today, because normally we record in the evening where we don't have all the backlight and everything from our windows.
All the sunshine that I tried to cover up but failed miserably.
But I'm working this weekend of this recording. I am my duty weekend, so I'm here working, and so Archon was awesome enough to do this for me early in the morning so we could actually put out a good show this week.
Yeah. Always. And as always, if you want to contact the show, you can get a hold of us through our email, podcastraw@gmail.com, for any business, anything you want to be on the show, want to advertise on the show, things like that. Just go ahead and contact us there. Or if you really want to get a hold of us and want us to respond to you really fast, then the place to be is our Discord, which is discord.gg/raw podcasts, RAWPODCASTS.
You can reach us. We also have a Facebook where I'm starting to post more too. That's Raw and Nerdy, or Raw Podcast is what it's called now. I forgot. Yeah, I changed it to Raw Podcast. And then also, if you want to check out random interesting pictures from our time at WonderCon or anything like that, you can go to our Instagram, which is Raw Podcast 1.
And we also now have a fresh new fancy TikTok as well, where we'll be posting teasers, gameplay videos, things like that of like anything announcing upcoming episodes, things like that. You can find that on our TikTok. You can also find us there at Raw and Nerdy as well. Or I think it's actually Raw and Nerdy Podcast. Yeah, just look for Raw and Nerdy or Raw and Nerdy Podcast. You'll find us.
Of course. We try keeping it simple for you guys. All right, guys. Well, that's all we got for today. Y'all stay nerdy.
Have a great week, guys.